once again, I welcome you to Community Viewpoint. I'm John Pollock, your host for this segment. And with me today we have Captain Klickner from the Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue Services. We're going to be talking about burn permits and why we're starting that, because I was cleaning up around the house and I found my burning permit from 2006. That's how much I used it. I didn't know where it was for many years, but I listened to Scott Lewis when he was on a couple of times, and what he told me about some of the things that people burn, and he dissuaded people from burning because we have a landfill we can take things to. But anyway, so I found this, so I'd like to talk to you about that. And right now it's people in Pahrump are able to burn.
Yeah, the burn season is currently open. It does stop on May 15th. We'll shut it down for the summertime because the moisture in the air, moisture in the materials, and everything surrounding your homes gets too dried out. You know, if any kind of embers were to leave your fire, it could start a fire that could expand to other people's properties, your house, their house, and we just want to keep the community safe.
Now you have your burn permit timing with some other group, the not Fish and Wildlife, Forestry Service, or
Forestry Service, or we usually follow the BLM recommendations that they also follow on the mountain next to us here.
So to see what a burn barrel looks like, I think I have one of the pictures, Mike. So that's what the screening looks like on the top, and you should get a 55-gallon drum or less?
That what's showing there is a 55-gallon drum. It's made of metal, has the screen on top, kind of an ember screen. You can recommend to use that. The burn permit does allow you to open burn on the ground as long as you're not near any other flammable sources. Like, you don't want to set a fire right next to a bunch of dry grass. You don't want to have it too close to your house. And just use common sense. Sometimes that's not so easy to describe to people, but you want to keep it away from anything else that you can light on fire, because once you light the fire, you are responsible for anything that it happens. We go into the burn permit. It explains 5-mile-per-hour wind or less. Basically, I know no one's measuring the wind. You're not going to get an accurate reading on the news or on your phone explaining how fast the wind is, but if it's noticeable, we recommend you don't burn.
Right.
That's where the number can travel. Keep the fire small and controllable, basically 3 by 3 and about knee high. And then you also want to go into having your water supply established, your garden hose. And the garden hose is about the biggest hose, about the amount of water that anybody can have on their property. That's standard. So the fire size is kind of dictated by your fire water suppression, so that you can easily put the fire out if the wind does come up, if something happens, it starts to get out of control. That's about as much water as you have to put that fire out.
So did I understand 25 feet away from the house? Did I see?
That's a good recommendation. I don't know the exact number, but 25 feet away from the house, 25 feet away from your fence line, or at least 10 to 15 feet away from the fence line, because you don't want to jump in properties.
So if you live next door to somebody, make sure that stands true for their house too. So you're not doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all buildings. Don't park your car next to where you're going to burn. Don't.
Yeah, you figure I think it's something like that.
Yeah, if you have a lot of buildup on your property, the storage items, don't burn next to them either.
So that's going to be until May 15th, and when does it start up? October?
Starts again, we're going off of a set time every year now. It'll be November 1st.
November 1st.
We can start that up again.
And then we'll find out with the Pahrump Valley Times or something. You'll put it in, or you'll see it here. You'll hear about it here.
And here we usually post it on our signboards next to the fire stations.
That's right.
When
We have
burn
all,
season
yes,
opens up, now that we have those.
the LED signs, yeah.
Best way to get information out to people as they drive by. The burn permit is a requirement for the controlled burns. You're able to get that at the Fire Station 1 across the street from Home Depot. The burn phone number 775-727-5658 if you have any questions. And then once you do get a burn permit, it does not expire. It stays on the property with you until you move.
And you have to be 18 years or older, I believe. The owner of the property.
Have liability insurance on the property.
Yes.
And running water.
Yes, that's important.
It is, but sometimes people don't have that.
So that's basically what you need to know about the controlled burn permits. No odd. If you could smell oddities in your burning, that means you're burning the wrong thing. It should smell like wood, cardboard, nothing like plastics.
Not even cardboard, actually. The burn permit is
because of glue in
designed.
there.
Yeah, no processed woods. Basically, yard waste only, vegetation, no refined woods, no 2x4s, no cardboard, no paper, anything that is not yard clippings, basically.
Natural.
Yeah, it has to be naturally unprocessed wood.
So you learned something, and so have I today. And there's no burning from dusk till dawn.
Right.
So.
The burn is defined by hours. The burns Monday through Friday is 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday it's 8 a.m. to 12 o'clock noon. No burning on holidays either.
Oh, you do Saturday and Sunday?
We do Saturday and Sunday, but it's a revised amount of hours.
Okay.
It's 8 a.m. to noon.
Oh, okay. And then you always call in?
Yep. The instructions will be on your sheet. Call in the burn phone number, leave a message. It gives us an idea of who's been burning.
Okay. So now we're going to be talking about where you're burning things in your house. I also have questions about where you store certain combustibles in your home. What you find are issues when you find homes that are on fire. What do you look out for? What do you go over there and say, I'm not going to go in that building because it's going to have propane or something else in there? What do you watch out for as a fireman?
What we watch for is to make sure that the fuels are shut off to the home. If there's a propane tank in the yard, we'll go shut it off. That's a good distance from the house. We shut the electrical off. And then we look for what's stored on the property around the house also before we make entrance. And that kind of brings you into the storage of the fuels that I think you're talking about.
Yeah.
Usually if there's a large amount of fuels, the resident is there telling us, hey, I have ammo, I have a large amount of fuel in there.
I didn't even think of ammo. That's true.
Yeah,
this is
a lot of people will store it in a safe in their garage, in their house, or just on a shelf in their house. And you're talking a large amount of rounds that people could have on their their residence.
Again, this is Pahrump. Yes. Wow, I didn't even think of that one. I'm
Yeah.
just thinking fuel, not ammo.
So fuel and ammo can be major concerns.
Okay, so hopefully the property owner will be there when you get there to...
Hopefully. If not, we can kind of hear it start popping off, and we make sure that we are aware of it and that we stay safe.
All right, so what are some of the other things you look out for when you're going... what should we be doing when we have a garage or something? Where should we put our flammables? I'd say outside, but then you have to worry about people stealing this stuff.
Obviously, outside is most, I guess,
Convenient.
the safe, most cautious way to do it. Maintain them in a proper container. I think they're getting away from the metal cans. They're using the poly cans now. Make sure that they have the correct seal and lid on them. When you're pouring them, make sure you're using the correct spout.
So if you got those containers there, you would have to have the same amount of containers or more for those the fuel containers on the inside if they break open.
What you're looking there is I don't think it's a residential requirement that
Oh, okay.
you store it within a spill container. But the way you're describing and showing it there, I think the recommendation is to have 110% capacity of what you're storing inside of it.
This you could see in a lot of homes too. People be
You do see a lot of that right there because a lot of people are storing fuels in case something happens, electrical outages, lack of fuel or shortage. Not that we have that, but to talk about is going to be the storage of those fuels. Again, proper container, have them properly marked, keep them away from flammable or a heat source, I guess you could say, heat source or open flames. You wouldn't want to spark the fumes if they do expand. The heat, I think we've talked about next to a generator, the heat from the generator running could expand the tank and increase the amount of fumes. And if it was to rupture, it will spray gas all over the generator and then light it on fire as well.
yes.
And then whatever you're in or close to will catch fire as well. And it kind of just snowball effects and you have a bigger fire than you need.
Yeah, well, we have two generators in the garage, but they're not connected. They would be connected if something bad happened, and we'd set them on the outside because I have a switch on the outside that switches our outlets over to the well and a few outlets in the house too. We had that worked on. We had an electrician take care of that for us. So, no, I wouldn't keep something plugged in with on propane or gasoline. So May 15th is the end of the burn for this season. Any last minute thoughts?
Just know that it's getting hot, it's getting dry. Even though you are allowed to burn until May 15th under the burn statute, I just keep it clean, do it when it's cooler weather, and keep it away from anything that's already dried out and that can burn.
All right, and I thank you for stopping by, Captain.
Thanks for having us.
And yeah, you have 4 stations?
We do. We have 4 stations now. We're currently opening the 4th station 4 on Bella Vista as we have the staffing.
And each of those has a LED board that you could
They
see.
do. They have the information boards posted along the major roadway as you go past the fire stations now. So there's always updates, safety tips, remind you to check your smoke detectors, when you can and can't burn will be listed on there.
And once again, I thank you, and we're out of time, and thank you for watching. We'll see
All
you
right.
next week, hopefully.